Nobody sees you. Nobody cares. You're alone in this. The room is quiet. The world kept moving while you slept. And it didn't miss you. Not even a little. That's not an insult. That's the truth you need to hear before your feet hit the floor. Because here's what's happening. Every single day you wake up, the clock doesn't reset. The debt you owe to your potential carries forward, with interest. And the only question that matters, the only one worth asking, is this. Did I do it enough? Not, did I try? Not, did I show up? Enough. That word, that brutal, unforgiving word, most men will never ask it. Because most men already know the answer, and they can't stand to look at it. So let's start there. Yesterday, go back to it. Be honest. Not with me. I don't exist. With yourself. When you sat down, did you go all the way in? Or did you stop at the edge of discomfort and call it work? When you trained, did you push until your hands shook? Or did you count reps in your head and quit when the number felt safe? When you were building, did you stay in the fire? Or did you check your phone and walk away from the heat? Be honest. Was it enough? You already know. That silence in your chest right now, that's your answer. Here's what most men do with that silence. They bury it. They eat something. They scroll. They sleep early. They tell themselves tomorrow is the real day. Tomorrow I go hard. Tomorrow I fix it. Tomorrow I become who I said I would be, and tomorrow comes. And they do the same thing again. A little less, a little softer, a little further from the man they said they wanted to be, day by day, quietly, without anyone noticing, including themselves. That's not failure in a single moment, that's decay. Slow, invisible, cellular decay, the kind that doesn't announce itself, the kind that only becomes visible when you're 50, standing in a life you didn't choose, wondering what happened to the man who had fire in his eyes at 22. I'll tell you what happened. He stopped asking. The question, do I do it enough? Is not a motivational exercise, it's not a journal prompt. It's not something you whisper softly while sipping coffee and watching the sunrise. It's a weapon. You use it to cut through the lies you tell yourself every single day. Because you lie, I lie, every man lies to himself. I worked hard today. Did you? Or did you work enough to not feel guilty? Those are two different things. One builds empires. The other builds excuses. Let me tell you about a man. No name, no city, no fame. Just a man. He wanted something real, a business, a body, a life built on his own terms. He said it, loud, to himself, maybe to a few others, and he started. First week, fire. Second week, momentum. Third week, life got in the way. He scaled back. Just for now, he said. Just until things settle. Things never settle. You know this. He worked less, justified it more. The gap between who he was and who he said he'd be grew so wide he stopped looking at it. Years passed. He's not broken. He's not destroyed. He's something worse. He's fine. Average. Comfortable. Mediocre. And the worst part? He stopped asking the question, because the question had an answer he couldn't live with, so he chose not to live with the question instead. That's not peace. That's surrender. Now let's talk about you. Right now. This moment. What are you building? What are you training for? What are you trying to become? Say it to yourself. Not out loud. In your chest. In your gut. Where the real answer lives. Now ask, am I doing it enough? Not enough by someone else's standard. Not enough by what looks good on the outside. Enough by your own standard, the one you set in your most honest moments. The one you set at 2 a.m. when you couldn't sleep because you knew you were capable of more. That standard. Are you meeting it? Here is the discipline nobody talks about. It's not waking up early. It's not cold showers. It's not some morning routine you copied from a video. The real discipline is this. Daily reckoning. Every night, before you sleep, you sit with the day. You don't run from it. You don't celebrate the easy wins. You ask the question, did I do it enough? And you answer it honestly, not harshly for the sake of punishment, not gently for the sake of comfort, accurately, because accurate self-assessment is the most dangerous skill a man can have. Most men never develop it. They're too afraid of what they'll find. But you, if you're still listening, you're already different, because you didn't turn this off. That means something, not because listening makes you great. It doesn't. But because somewhere inside you, there's a man who knows he hasn't done it enough, knows there's a gap, knows the clock is running, and instead of running from that knowing, you're sitting in it. That's rare. Now the question is what you do with it. You have two choices. That's it. 2. 1. You hear this, feel something for a few hours, then return to the version of yourself that was comfortable enough not to change. 2. You let the question become permanent. You tattoo it somewhere behind your eyes. You carry it into every session, every decision, every quiet moment. Did I do it enough? Not as a burden, as a compass. The man who asks that question every day and answers it honestly, that man moves. He doesn't drift. He doesn't coast. He doesn't need external pressure because the pressure lives inside him. Permanent, cold, focused. That's the identity shift nobody talks about. Not motivation, not discipline as a habit, discipline as identity. When you are the man who asks the question, not the man who sometimes remembers to ask it, everything changes. The training changes. Not because you train more hours, because every hour has weight. The work changes. Not because you do more tasks, because every task gets your full force. The silence changes. You stop filling it with noise. You sit in it. You use it. The mirror changes, not because your body changed, though it will, but because the man looking back is someone you recognize, someone you respect. And that respect, let me be clear, it doesn't come from results. Results take time. Results are delayed. Results lie sometimes. The respect comes from the process of asking, from proving to yourself daily that you are the man who does not flinch from the hard question, who does not take the easy answer, who does not let a soft day slide quietly into a soft week, into a soft year, into a soft life. So here's your assignment. Not a goal, not a plan, not a system. One question. Every day, no exceptions. Did I do it enough? Ask it at night. When it's quiet, when there's no one watching. And if the answer is no, don't punish yourself. Don't spiral. Just remember. Remember the feeling, the specific texture of not having done enough. Let it sit in your chest, and let that feeling be the fuel you run on tomorrow, because tomorrow is coming, whether you're ready or not, whether you've earned it or not, whether you deserve it or not. The only variable, the only thing in your control, is whether you show up to it as the man who asks the question or the man who already stopped. The clock is running. You know what to do.